not authorised entry. So the criteria here seems to be, like, there's one here that says mislead authorities, and that can, as a standalone reason, be to not authorise entry. And this seems extremely harsh in my view. I think you've a lot of people coming from very distressed situations, information about their lives, and especially if they've experienced trauma, it may take a while for people to be able to fully give the full story and the full picture. They may have also been advised terribly by other people about what they should and shouldn't say when they get to a place. So the fact that as a standalone piece, it's not even that has to be met along with other criteria, but actually that is the criteria, that if they meet that, mislead authorities, it's very arbitrary. And I'm just wondering maybe if you can speak a little bit to that.
So they can still apply for asylum. So if somebody misleads authorities because they have false documents, for example, they will go into the border procedure if they come through the border, or an accelerated procedure. So they still can claim, they can still make their case, they'll just be processed in a much quicker way. And I mean, it is absolutely the case. It's often said to me, well, if someone has a false document, they should be locked up and sent away, and that's the end of it. There are people who are desperate, there are people who come from situations and they feel it's the only way that they can get protection by using false documents.
In Ireland, we've put people in prison for no passports. We have people in detention right now for that exact thing. Yeah. So I'm wondering how we're going to ensure that also doesn't happen, in terms of, because misleading, obviously that's a real concrete point one if you don't have documents, but is that defined? Like, does it actually give criteria as to what misleading information is? Could it be a date of birth? You know, how is that? It could be so arbitrarily applied if it's not actually laid out. And I'm just wondering, is it laid out?
It's very clear. So if somebody presents with false documents or doesn't have documents, it is a criminal offence. And you're right, there are people who have been imprisoned in recent months because of that. There are different time periods, but a person can still then, on release from prison, apply for asylum. It doesn't prevent them from applying, but it is a criminal offence to not have documents or false documents, but a person can then apply afterwards. And look, it is absolutely the case that sometimes people do this for reasons, but it's also the case that people have false documents because they are intentionally trying to evade the system, and they may be part of something much more sinister. So we can't just... We have to make sure that the law is very clear. If you come with false documents or you have no documents, it is a criminal offence. We have to apply that, but it doesn't then prevent somebody from seeking asylum. If we feel that they are a risk or a threat, to my earlier point, they can be detained while they are applying or going through that process. But that is why we have the fast processing, the border procedure, that it can be turned around in a much quicker way.